If instead of pursuing a blank mind, a mind without thought, what needs to change is our relationship with thought, how much would that transform our meditation? There is a big misconception when we hear about having peace of mind and having a blank mind, no thoughts, do not think. All of this creates a sort of confusion in terms of what do we expect when we meditate. So I want to bring a different approach to this, which is how our relationship with thought is really what's causing this stress and anxiety and everything else, because there is a relationship with thought. Now, I want to begin with that idea of having no thoughts. It is true that there is an underlying reality that doesn't depend on thought. That is what we call awareness, or you. You do not depend on thought. However, because we have conditioned our relationship with the mind so strongly identified with narratives, it feels like we cannot be without thought. So initially, when you begin to meditate, all you are aware of is thought, because we have conditioned ourselves to listen and over-listen to the narratives of the mind. So that's why it feels almost impossible to have no thought, or to realize that there is a state of no thought, which is what we call plain, simple awareness. But the problem is that we pursue this, and that which pursues the no thought mind is the one that is causing all the thought. And I want to bring you to that understanding. I want to show you how that which seeks to have no thought is precisely the one having the thought. Because you need to have a thought that says, I want to be without a mind, without thoughts, without narratives. That per se is a thought. In and of itself is a thought. So how do we approach this? The first thing is to notice that we ourselves are currently and always entertaining ourselves with something. We have to pay attention to this. We have to notice that we are constantly looking for something that entertains our mind, ourselves. So I remember when I used to tell my mother not to listen to the news so much, because the news is one of the first things that we kind of let go of because of the constant fear mongering that is the nature of news. International, national, local, they're all seeking something that is, it creates a thrill inside of us, a sense of danger of things that may happen, right? So this is a very important point to notice that we all have this energy system that gets excited with the sense of fear, the sense of something that may be happening, right? I'm going to call it a thrill. There's a thrilling system here that we're always feeding, okay? And I remember my mother saying, no, I cannot stop paying attention to the news because I need to know what's happening, right? So she needed to know what was happening. It was a necessity for her. Another friend tells me that she cannot live without music. She always has to listen to music. Same thing. What happens when you're not listening to the news? What happens when you're not listening to music? Others have told me I cannot stop doing things. From the moment I wake up, I'm always doing things, and I never have enough time to do all the things that I want. Fair enough, nothing wrong with news, nothing wrong with music, nothing wrong with doing a lot of things throughout the day. So what's really what I'm pointing out here is that there is a thrilling system that's always being excited in us by relationship with the activity. Now, when we fall into meditation and we first penetrate that resistance to simply listen to our thoughts, then the subtlest form of distraction actually is thought itself. We find that there is a narrative that's playing, and it's always changing. This narrative is always changing and feeding this thrilling system, which that thrill is precisely what we call the separate self. the one that is always depending on something for it to be alive or to feel alive, right? A lot of people say, oh, I feel alive now because I have a thrill, I have something to live for, right? There's something that's feeding them and keeping them alive. And then when that dies out, they say, I have no desire to live. I have nothing to pay attention to. And quite the contrary, that's the moment in which we realize what is the beauty of life, which is to have no dependence on thought, activity, or things that entertain us. So we have to become very aware of how we, our true self awareness, is constantly entertained by even the subtlest narrative in the mind, even the subtlest story or expectation or anything that the mind is playing for us. Now, here's where the work comes in, because, like I said, there is a thrilling system in us that is constantly entertaining thought, constantly. The moment we see this, then something else may happen, which is the judgment of it and saying, oh, I was stuck again with thought. I should not be stuck with thought. People say that I shouldn't be entertaining thought. Gabe said in his YouTube channel that I shouldn't be entertaining thought. Who said that if not another thought? So it's the same thrilling system that now is taken over and saying we are to be the observers. We have to be the neutral observers of this mind, right? So every time it's not, then it feels like it's failing. And now this can go on forever, because another one may take over and say, all right, I shouldn't be judging the entertainment of my thoughts. And when I see myself judging the entertaining of thought, I'm failing. You see how this keeps replicating? Because it is the same thrilling mechanism that keeps us always alert of something new. So how do we cut this from the root instead of creating another and another and another and falling into this failure sensation? The question is, who is it that is truly listening to thoughts? Who is it that is entertaining thought? And the moment you cut through this question, or with this question all the way through yourself, you find that what you are, which is this awareness, is simple awareness. And that is what gets rid of absolutely everything else, because it's cutting the separate self that is always posing as the one that is responsible for thought, the one that is responsible for relationship with thought. When we realize that what we are is this plain, simple awareness of what is, then anything can come through. That is true peace of mind. And it's not an absence of thought, it's an absence of relationship with thought. Any sort of relationship with thought is what creates this thrilling system, this aliveness of the separate self. The moment we realize that, and every time we take away that ownership to thought that the separate self has, the more this peaceful being that doesn't depend on thought shines as us, not as the separate self who is continuously looking for a different entertainment. So when it's not looking outside, then inside it looks for these narratives. Check it out. Validate it for yourself. Pause this video if you want and listen to whatever narrative may come up. It may be trying to explain what I'm saying. It'll try to give some sort of explanation and definition, and it'll take you on a storyline. And just simply detach from it. At that moment, detach from it and realize, no, I don't need this to be my voice. I am the silence that allows this voice to be. And don't let the separate self take ownership of that silence as if it owns it. And every time is, again, entertaining thought, it's failing. There's no such thing as failure here. There is just constant recognition of who you are in the moment. That is what begins to bring a peace without conditions, or an unconditional peace, an understanding of what I am in the moment. And that's what we call a peaceful mind, a mind without relationship with thought. And the more we practice this, the more we recognize who we are in the moment, then the more this is going to be part of our lives. And thought, it's going to be optional. It's information that is available in the moment, but it does not inform us all the time. And finally, we're free from thought. And that's the idea of meditation, to be completely free from the information that thought is defining us, and knowing that we cannot be defined. We are what we are in the moment, and we accept what we are without having to either also having a blank mind all the time. That's not who we are. We are what we are in the moment. And this is just highlighting this, that anything that is coming up is what we are in the moment, but not who we truly are. We are reinforcing who we truly are all the time, so that that which we are in the moment does not define us. It's simply a passing experience that we accept, do not resist, and let go of it. That's what we're training here. That's what's taken root in ourselves. And that's what people call presence or peace of mind. It is not an absence of thought. As usual, I hope this video was helpful. Check in the description the links that I have down there if you want to join the community where we go deeper into this in the free courses that we have. And I also have Tuesday calls where we can integrate this together if this is something that obviously resonates with you and you want to go deeper into this practice of the direct path. I hope you have a peaceful and harmonious day, and I'll see you in the next video.